While the injuries have bothered him, I think as the season wears on, we're going to hear a lot about him.
We are ready to tip things up here in South Bend inside the Purcell Pavilion. Notre Dame coming out wearing the home white. Radford wearing the road red. Nate Laszewski in the circle, ready to jump it up with Shaquan Jules. And Jules wins the tip for Radford. Nabuchi Eziakuda, also known as O. And here's Daquan Smith, comes with a jump stop floater, goes. Radford gets on the board first.
You're going to see them coming to push out the line of attack Notre Dame. Notre Dame doesn't want to foul in the defense. They do a great job of defending without fouling.
Laszewski going hard. He'll be fouled and go to the line for two. You see the starting lineup for Notre Dame. J.J. Starling, he is the freshman from Baldwinsville, New York, going along with Trey Wertz, Cormac Ryan, Nate Laszewski, and Dane Goodwin, their graduate student.
J.J., I'm sure, has a lot of nerves. This is his first Carter's game. I'm pretty sure his family's here to watch him as well. So hopefully he settles down a little bit. But he got a lot of veteran guys to lean on and help him.
Laszewski to the line, nails the first free throw.
This is another. You want to get him going early as well for a guy that they need to step up. He has to step up and produce and take up some of the slack that they lost with Paul Atkinson last year. So he's the only big they put on the floor right now. There are other freshmen too. Bigs are coming in.
Laszewski shot over 45% last year from three and over 200 rebounds. That is only one of 4 players in the country to do that. Take a look at the starting 5 for Radford Highlanders. Smith Jeffers, Eziakuda, Antoine, and Jules. Bucket goes for the newly inserted Majau Niang. He's the 6'10 transfer from Florida Atlantic.
Seems to be a concerted effort to attack the paint. I don't think they're fearful of any shot blocking from Notre Dame.
Cormac Ryan, his first 3 in and out.
Now, usually when you're playing against someone, you go off their stats from last year, but Radford played it at a slower pace, one of the slowest paces in the country a year ago. They want to completely change that this year. This team wants to get up and down the floor and play with pace.
10 on the shot clock. They're going to work through the big man Niang in the post. Good defense. Turnaround jumper. No good. Nicely done by Nate Laszewski.
Both teams want to play with pace.
Laszewski head fake and gets all the way to the bucket. He's got the first 4 points for Notre Dame.
You have to go for a shot fake. He shoots the ball so well. So when he pump fakes, he can drive by anybody all year long with that move.
Pick and roll. Niang thought about the free throw jumper. Will reload to Jeffers. Eziakuda letting it fly from deep. That was something that plagued Radford in their first loss on Monday. They were just 5 for 25 from 3, but that first one goes.
Well, they're going to get him up. They're going to, even the exhibition in first game, they shot over 25 threes a game. So the question is how many they're going to make. When they won in the exhibition, they made 12. When they lost, they only made 5. So, and that's similar to what Notre Dame wants to do. They're a team that wants to get up over 25 threes as well.
Shot clock winding down for Notre Dame. A lot of dribbling from Wertz. Turnaround jumper. Tough shot. No good. Rebound goes to Jeffers.
Now, I talked about before about playing with pace. The difference is Radford wants to play 94 feet of pace. Notre Dame wants to play with pace in their half-court sets. They want to control the tempo.
Don't be surprised by this early start. Radford to a 9-4 lead. Radford, the last time these two teams played, the Highlanders won back in 2018, and there are 3 players on Notre Dame who were on that team. They remember that game.
And so does Josiah Jeffers. He was also in that game as a freshman, so he echoed that to his teammates that, hey, we can come in here and we can win. And let's not forget, we got a transfer from Pitt right here bringing the ball up as Ikuda that also knows ACC basketball, getting his guys prepared to win.
Nate Laszewski has scored all 7 points for Notre Dame. Radford with a 2-point lead here early in this first half. Setting the feet, that's Antoine. Misses his first shot, and Niang is going to be called for the over-the-back call. Head coach for the Radford Highlanders in his second season is Darius Nichols. Now, Nichols was an assistant coach at Florida. He is known as an excellent recruiter. He's a guy who helped build all those strong Florida teams. Now in his second year, Randolph, you talked about it, he wants to get things faster. He has a lot of his guys now in the program.
He's got a lot of depth, got a lot of guys he recruited in transfer portal from winning programs. So They're going to surprise a lot of teams in the Big South this year. He's expecting to finish a lot higher than the 6th place that they picked him in.
How about Laszewski? He has been the offense so far for Notre Dame, going hard, draws a foul, and he'll go back to the free throw line to shoot 2.
They need him to be really, really aggressive. He's a tough matchup. I mean, he's shooting 46% from 3. When he shot fakes and plays out there, most teams switch. Right now, Radford's inability to switch on him is putting their big at a disadvantage. And that's hard to get to him. You can't close out to Nate Laszewski. He just shoots it too quick and too well. At 6'10", he's not going to see it.
Head coach for Notre Dame, Mike Brey, in his 23rd season. We talked about him having his most experienced team. He is 22-0 in home openers. And we talked to him about just what it's like being at Notre Dame for so long, being a legend. And he said, I'm as invigorated as ever.
He did.
He just signed 3 young 4-star recruits. He's got a ton of talent still coming into the program. Mike Brey's not going anywhere.
Well, I picked on him early because I told him, I said, hey, how does it feel? All your buddies are retiring, all your peers. He's like, now I'm becoming one of the old guys now. So, but he feels young. He loves coaching. Fan base loves him, and recruiting is going really well. So I don't see Mike Brey going anywhere anytime soon. Notre Dame's fell back in the zone now. They've had trouble keeping Radford out of the paint, so now they're going to match up, try to slow things down a little bit.
Tied up at 9 apiece. We played 4 minutes here in South Bend. First game of the season for Notre Dame tonight. 10 on the shot clock for the Highlanders. Trying to figure out this zone. Jeffers penetrates, gets all the way to the rim.
Mike Brey's got to be disappointed in that. You're not supposed to get to the rim against the zone. Someone should have been there to meet him. I think it's a little matchup they're running, and late clock, they're probably trying to go man and got caught out of position.
Now Goodwin has a mismatch inside. He was calling for it. Now he's got it in the corner, sets his feet, and his three is a little short.
Right now they're not switching anyone on Nate Laszewski.
Antoine, he'll let it fly. His first 2 shots off the mark.
Right now the pace feels like Radford the way they want to play. It's a ragtag game. Notre Dame's got to settle down and pick up their pace in the half court and running their sets right now.
So Trey Wertz is the guy running the show for Notre Dame. All the offense has been scored by Laszewski. Goodwin, hard, no call, ton of contact. Here come the Highlanders. Giles thought about it, will get it up. And on the rebound, a foul is going to be called against Laszewski. A good start for Radford, an 11-9 lead over Notre Dame early on here in this first half. Flash it back, 2018 right on this floor. Radford, they brought their A game. They were not messing around.
They don't look like they're messing around tonight. They come out ready to play, and we expected it. We talked earlier shoot around. The spread was 18. We didn't think it'd be that far. I mean, this team Radford's come out. They got athleticism, they got depth, and it's early.
Notre Dame had a chance to tie it at the buzzer. Radford came away with a 63-60 win. And the Highlanders early on, a good start here. They've up by 2 against Notre Dame.
Notre Dame's back in their zone.
Trying to find that weak spot. Justin Archer into the game now for Radford. Float game in and out for DeQuan Smith.
Guys didn't see the shot clock there. We had to throw up a floater on the run.
We haven't seen the McDonald's All-American J.J. Starling get into the action yet for Notre Dame. It's been the Laszewski show. He scored all 9 points. But here's Starling with the ball in his hand. Trying to go to work, double teamed, working the pick and roll. Lubin lost the handle. Here's the turnover.
Got to get to him in 3.
Kenyon Giles knocking it down. Radford is clicking early on.
He's an explosive player from the bench. He comes in, he's hunting shots, he's looking to score, and he can flat out do it.
A little too close there as Ezia Kuda called for the reach-in.
They're going to come after Notre Dame here. Get a steal in transition. You have to build your defense. You got to protect the rim, but you got to get to these 3-point shooters, and can't leave Giles open. He's an explosive scorer. Freshman from Chesapeake, VA. Coach Nichols talked about how lucky he was to get him.
Wertz driving baseline, laying it in. First Notre Dame player other than Laszewski to score tonight.
I was going to say, someone else decided to join the game. Help your guy out, and they needed some help.
Now, Mike Brey is going to go with a short bench. He's only going to go about 6 or 7 deep tonight. That's because they're without Marcus Hammond. He injured his knee. He's the transfer from Niagara.
Surprisingly, Notre Dame is having communication issues right now. They're having breakdowns on their defense. You don't expect that from a veteran group of guys.
Now, they did force Giles into a tough shot. Notre Dame gets the stop. Let's see what they do on offense here. Underneath, all alone, laying it in, Van Allen Lubin. He is another one of these freshmen. ESPN ranked him as the 69th recruit in the country. Mike Bray keeps bringing in talent here at Notre Dame.
Another good recruiting class in the 20-degree class, but again, he just shows there's been no let off in his game.
Ever since Notre Dame went to this zone, it has slowed down Radford, but not Kenyon Giles. Gets that turnaround jumper for Giles. That's his second bucket. He's got 5.
He can score it, and you don't want to get him going early. He's a handful to deal with.
3 ball, a little short by Cormac Ryan. Notre Dame's getting looks. They just haven't been able to knock down the 3 early on. 1 of 4 from deep. But Radford's having no problems. DeQuan Smith.
He's another shooter. You know, I teased him earlier, told him he was the second best shooter in the gym. He's proven me he may be the best shooter in the gym.
Goodwin takes a deep 2, no good. Oh, the follow slam by Lubin.
Lubin with the offensive rebound. No box out there. They got caught in rotation. That's what you want to see from a freshman coming in. That's the way you get your first basket.
Maybe that's the spark that Notre Dame needs to get going here. Smith penetrating, and they're going to call a foul. Van Allen Lubin, another one of the talented freshmen coming in for Notre Dame, making an impact early on. Shot goes up, nobody box out. Okay, thank you. The Radford Highlanders shooting 50% from downtown, 3 of 6. They've got themselves a 4-point lead. John Schriffen alongside my partner Randolph Childress. All right, are you surprised by this start here, first game of the season for Notre Dame?
No, because you never know what you expect the first game. I mean, Radford's coming in here with house money. They got nothing to lose. You know, they're favored to lose by 18 points, and they're just relaxed. They're coming out playing. Notre Dame has seniors, but you know, they're still trying to figure things out as well because they got new guys that have been implemented in this team, and they got to get those freshmen up to speed. So it's still early in the game. You got to temper expectations.
DeQuan Smith leading the way for the Highlanders with 7 points. He's going to get a breather on the bench right now. And the ball is tipped away. Steal coming away for Trey Wertz.
Now, one thing Coach Bray has to be disappointed in early with his team is just their defense. You know, they finished 3rd in the ACC last year in defense, and coming out tonight giving up 50% through the first TV timeout. He can't be happy about that. Now they're back to their man-to-man.
Also into the game for the first time, Ibu Yamazaki. He's the freshman from Japan. Here he is with the ball in his hands and denied at the rim.
That's what you want to see from your freshman. Rotating over, protecting the rim. Just help coming over with the freshman. Look at that. Blocks. Knocks it off the offensive player. Keeps possession. Lubin with a great defensive play.
You know, all the hype has been with J.J. Starling, deservedly so. But Lubin has stolen the show in terms of freshmen so far early on.
Coach Bray said he has a high basketball IQ, and his transition was even smoother than J.J. so far. You see why.
Wertz, 1-on-3, flips it into the bucket. Notre Dame down by 2.
Trey Wertz using his size. He's a big guard, his ball handling ability. He's been a backup point guard for this team, you know, since he's arrived. So don't expect anything different from him. You just love to see the aggressiveness from him.
You know, this zone has really slowed down the offense for Radford.
But that's what you want out of your zone. Slow the pace down. Notre Dame doesn't have a deep bench, so they have to play some zone.
Jeffers forced into a tough shot. And Notre Dame starting to pick it up defensively.
Zone is helping these guys. They're rotating their bodies. They're going to keep the same rotation. They're going to keep a 5- to 6-man rotation. And as we talked about, this team has just gotten so much better. It's been a big adjustment from them from 2 years ago to last year.
Last year, Notre Dame on this floor, 14-1 at home. Talk about protecting your home court, and a big reason that because of the improvement in defense.
That was the knock against Notre Dame for quite some time.
Here's Starling, and he knocks down his first college shot.
That's what you want. Nice, easy pass, nice, easy look, help you get going. Everyone remembers that first shot they make in college. So now he's got that out the way. Let's hope he can relax and settle in this game.
J.J. Starling gives Notre Dame their first lead of the ball game as Giles is fouled, and he'll go to the free throw line. J.J. Starling, we're going to see plenty more of these this year.
It's just a great pass from Lubin as well to find J.J. Steps into it, knocks it down. Freshmen helping each other out. That's what you want to see if you're Mike Brey.
So Starling commits his first personal foul as Giles goes to the line to shoot 2 for Radford, and they find themselves down by 1, and he misses the first. Tuesday night, we'll have a men's basketball doubleheader for you right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. Louisville, they host App State at 6 Eastern. Then Armando Bacot and #1 North Carolina host Gardner-Webb at the Dean Smith Center in Chapel Hill. How good is North Carolina this year?
They're really good. As they get their bench involved in the offense and getting the flow of things, they'll be even better. They were fun to watch Monday night.
So Giles goes 1 of 2 from the line, ties the game at 20. Starling caught in the air, scrum on the floor, finds a kick out. This is Wertz for 3.
Both teams love to shoot the ball from behind the arc. J.J. Starling nearly lost the ball, but gathered it, kicked it out. That's what you want from guys. Drive the ball in the paint, kick it out to the shooters. They're always going to have 4 guys on the three-point line that can knock down shots.
That's a deep 3 off the mark. Starling with the board, and all of a sudden, Notre Dame with the momentum, up by 3, under 9 minutes to play in this first half. Off the mark, the freshman couldn't connect. Turnover.
Typical freshman mistake. When you come out and you make a good play, you want to try to make another one. Comes down, drives, nearly loses it, kicks it out. Trey Wertz is another guy. Another 41% three-point shooter. Notre Dame has 4 guys out there now that shoots over 40% from the floor from 3.
Notre Dame in the middle of a 10-1 run right now. A 3-point lead under 9 minutes here in this first half. Smith trying to go to work. The float game goes, rolling in on the rim, cutting the lead to 1.
Zone has slowed him down a little bit, but when you attack a 2-3 zone, you want to catch that ball right around the free throw line. That time, DeQuan Smith got it there. Pressure starting to bother Notre Dame. They're turning up their defense. But there's so many ball handlers with Notre Dame. Not many teams have this many ball handlers and ability to pass the ball.
And a jump ball called inside. Ezzy Okuda got the tie-up. Possession arrows with Notre Dame.
You'd want to see Nate Laszewski catch it high and keep it high. Put it down there for the little guys. They're going to come grabbing for it. Notre Dame keeps possession of the ball.
So Wertz will inbound. 7 on the shot clock for Notre Dame, and tied up. Ezzy Okuda will commit the foul on Goodwin.
Goodman stopped. Good veteran move right there. Got a guy hugged up on you, so you stop, try to reverse. It's just a vet move, drawing the foul.
It's amazing the growth we've seen from Dane Goodwin throughout his career. Came in as a sharpshooter, but he has really improved all aspects of his game.
He's a really good player. I mean, he literally was a 50, 40, 90 guy a year ago. Doesn't shoot a ton of free throws, so he missed a couple late in the year last year, dropped him down into the 80s. But he's a 50% field goal guy, 40% from three-point line. I mean, he's a really good offensive player, and he's playing bigger and guarding bigger guys on the defensive end.
You know, something interesting with all these veterans coming back. We talked to Mike Brey about that in his 23rd season. I asked him, what is it like coaching all these veteran guys? He said, I actually text them before this game because we don't have a deep bench to remind them. Do not foul tonight. We only have 6 or 7 deep. We need you for the entire game here. We're going to step aside. Notre Dame with a 1-point lead. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to South Bend, Indiana. Notre Dame with a 1-point lead, 8-11 to play here in this first half. Mike Brey, I mean, we're talking about a Hall of Fame resume. The job he has done, this is his 23rd season at Notre Dame, and he keeps getting better and better recruits come here into Notre Dame.
I said that to him today, and he kind of brushed it off as if it's something that should be considered, and I don't think there's any doubt. He's had a Hall of Fame career. He doesn't have a national championship. I think that still motivates him.
Goodwin Jumper goes. Notre Dame with a 3-point lead.
And he's recruiting like it. Goodman does a great job with that. That's a staple in his game. If he's coming off a pin down and your big doesn't step up, he likes to curl in there and put pressure on your paint. Falling back to the zone.
Smith left alone. In and out from 3. Ryan with the rebound. You think if Notre Dame, though, finds a way to make a deep run in the tournament, that's what he needs to seal his Hall of Fame career? As Ryan with the blow-by.
I think it's done already. I just think this is just gravy in a sense. I don't think he needs anything about it. That's just a personal, everyone plays the game to win a national championship, and Mike Bray's no different. He's an ultimate competitor, but he's as good a coach there is in the country.
Justin Archer with the two-hand slam. Radford trying to figure out the zone. They trail by 3. Wertz, Laszewski, that is picked off. Josiah Jeffers. Radford, they've got numbers in transition. Giles, pull up 3, knocked down. We got a tie ball game.
Notre Dame cannot turn the basketball over, and if you do, you have got to defend the 3-point line. Radford is looking in transition. They're looking for 3.
This is the 5th tie of the ball game, all knotted up at 27 apiece. Laszewski going hard.
I thought he got an and one there. It's a great, strong move by that. You have to crowd him because he shoots it so well. He needs to continue to stay aggressive. He got off to a quick 9. That's his first basket since. Now in this zone, Notre Dame has to protect that free throw line area.
Smith got by his man, throwing it up at the rim. And on the rebound, they're going to call it on Justin Archer for Radford.
Second 3 of the night. Still in transition. You got to find those guys. They're running to the 3-point line. That's Giles' second 3. Laszewski, you got to pressure him. He's just a big guy, able to put it on the floor, take it strong to the basket.
Gotta love the mentality. Early on, Laszewski had 9. He gets that bucket to go. He leads Notre Dame in scoring. He's got 11 right now, and you see him already attacking again. He's trying to go one-on-one at Niang. Wertz, deep 3, cans it. Wertz is now in double figures. He's got 10.
Yeah, they're starting to heat up from behind the line right now and starting to extend his lead a little bit. They can get a couple more stops, but they got to keep the ball out of that spot in that zone.
Notre Dame shooting 50% from downtown. That's their 4th 3 of the night. Driving baseline, kick out to Smith. Tipped around, another offensive board for the Highlanders.
Notre Dame has been vulnerable on the glass. They gave up 22 offensive rebounds in their exhibition game, and that's a lot of offensive rebound. Traditionally, they've been not the best rebounding team, but giving up 22 extra possessions is difficult to overcome. Their shooting just enables them to overcome so many things.
So the personal foul called on Van Allen Lubin.
Notre Dame is getting spread out in that zone because of Radford's ability to shoot the 3. You're going to have to be close in the paint and then extend out once on airtime when the ball is moving. Right now they're a little bit spread out, almost man-to-man like, and they're giving up gaps.
Dribble, pull-up jumper, tough shot by Giles.
Now the same thing on the other end. Notre Dame is running it outside. Look at Lubin. I mean, he's really effective, and Goodman is probably their best low post player.
Skip pass, Ryan. He's always in shooting ready. A deep 2 knocks it down. Ryan, his second bucket of the game, he's got 4, and Notre Dame have hit their last 8 field goal.
I understand everyone running at Cormac, Ryan. I think he has the quickest release in the country. I think his release is unbelievably quick, and when he shot fakes, I would imagine everybody's going to go for it. Great pull-up jump shot by him.
Does he have the prettiest jump shot in the country?
It's just effortless. He keeps it high. It's so quick. If you're not there on the catch, forget about it.
Josiah Jeffers says, don't forget about me. He is the leader on this team. He's the guy who's bringing everybody together, all the transfers, and they've been relying on him early on this season.
He's the most experienced guy as a starter. He has the most starting experience.
Trapped underneath, trying to find some help. Ryan all alone from the wing. Gets his own board. Laszewski on the dump off. Ryan, another offensive rebound. Back to Laszewski. 1-on-2, and he'll be fouled.
Notre Dame's not known for their offensive rebound, but that's a great possession. Shoot the 3 is long rebounds. Taking shot. Guys are running in. Long shots, long rebounds. Great effort. Guys continue to play.
This is something we saw from Notre Dame also last season. A team also known as shooters, but we saw the toughness build. They formed it on the defensive end, and now it's carrying over on the offensive end, getting on the glass.
Well, if you look over their bench now, Mike Bray, you're going to see Anthony Solomon talking to him. He credits a lot of that with him. Anthony Solomon was here through that Elite Eight run and all those postseason runs, and he's now coming in. Mike Bray's turned the defense over to him, and he's a key reason for them last year coming from 14th all the way up to 3. He's brought that toughness and echoing that. And the guys, these veteran guys are brought in. They're taking small pieces to their game. Like right now, Laszewski is getting to the free throw line. You know, he did it in the exhibition game. He's doing it so far tonight. That's something he hadn't done in his career.
And he's knocking them down. He's 5 of 6 from the line. Laszewski has 12 points to lead the way for Notre Dame.
He has to take up for Atkinson leaving as well. So you want to see that. That bodes well for Notre Dame.
Jeffers off the high ball screen knocks down another 3. Jeffers, he's got 7 points now.
If there's a concern you have for Notre Dame playing this game, is the pace. Cannot turn it over.
Here's the steal for Radford. Jeffers dump back. Extra pass. Giles in the corner. And Radford, their second 3 in a row. They've got 6 threes on the night. And it is a tie game.
That's Giles' 3rd transition 3. You have got to find him, but you can't turn the basketball over. And this is a team that scored 21 points off turnovers, and they lost to Marquette and 25 points in transition. So they want to play with pace.
Starling, shot off the mark. I mean, Randolph, you called it earlier. Radford has nothing to lose tonight. They play with no fear.
And you don't know what to expect, because you're coming into this last year, they were one of the slowest teams in the country. You didn't expect an entire philosophical change. So it's an adjustment right now.
Shaquan Jules gives Radford the 2-point lead under 3 minutes to play here in this first half.
And Notre Dame is going to play their guys. They're not going to go deep into their bench, and Radford is going to go at least 9 deep.
Laszewski free on the pick and roll with the nice head fake. He's got 14 points now.
He's looked so good. Right now, he needs to set screens because they are not switching on him. And if you're going to show and try to recover to him, you're never going to get there. That's why he's having a big game. And if I'm Mike Bray, I'd run him in ball screens all night until force Radford to make an adjustment.
Giles finds Niang. Picks up his dribble, resets with 10 on the shot clock for the Highlanders. Jeffers will let it fly. That's over Laszewski in his face, knocking it down. Radford retakes the lead.
Notre Dame's playing in that drop coverage, meaning they want to keep Nate Laszewski in between his man and the basket, but the guards are not getting through the screens enough to bother those mid-range jump shots. And right now, Radford's knocking them down.
Under 2 minutes to play here in this first half. Notre Dame down by 2. Starling drag the pivot foot. That's a travel. Josiah Jeffers, the senior leader for Radford, he is bringing it on.
He's playing really well right now. Coming off the ball screen. Nate Laszewski's late. See you, big fella. Take those 2 with you. I know it's frustrating if you're at Notre Dame. Coach Anthony Solomon told me the scouting report was to find Giles in transition. You got to know where he is. He has 3 threes in transition, so nothing drives the coach angrier than scouting report mistakes. And right now, Notre Dame's had a few.
We asked head coach about Kenyon Giles. He said he's the right choice. I said, what does that mean? We were looking at him all summer.
Yeah.
He was a backup point guard on his AAU team, but we just knew he was going to be a good fit for our team. On the rim, Laszewski's going to be fouled over the back by Jules.
I want to know who played in front of him, because this young man can play. He's an explosive scorer. I mean, the ball looks good every time it leaves his hand. I mean, he's playing well. He's 12 points off the bench. He's instant offense. He's only played 14 minutes tonight and already has 12 points. And he was their leading scorer coming from the bench against Marquette in the first game.
Look, you've recruited in the ACC. You know how hard that is. How do you evaluate a player who doesn't even get that many minutes in the AAU circuit?
Well, a lot of times it's just sometimes you know people out there that tells you, and then you got to trust your eyes. I mean, that's the bottom line. That's one thing that I was always told, even when I first got into business, is you know talent, trust your eyes, and you see it. And someone found a gem with this young man, because he's going to be a heck of a player.
Radford with a 2-point lead as we approach a minute to play here in this first half. Smith Picking up his dribble, looking for help. Extra passes to Antoine, and he is short on the jumper.
It's a good shot. You want him to take those shots. Again, he's a talented young man. He hasn't got going yet, but if he gets going, then things could get really interesting.
Under a minute to play here in South Bend.
Anything with Nate Laszewski setting screens.
Wertz back to Starling, knocking it down. His second three of the night. J.J. Starling's got 6.
His offense has been really easy for him when he's allowed it to come to him. And right now, being a freshman, the McDonald's All-American, you can see the anxiety. He's pushing the middle a little bit.
A timeout on the floor. Radford wants to call a timeout with 23.4 to play in this first half. We'll be back after this. J.J. Starling, the McDonald's All-American. His stroke is looking good.
Great drop by Trey. Coming off the pin down, drawing the defense, kicking to him. Great step in and knockdown 3 by J.J. Starling. Again, he scored and done well when he allowed the offense to come to him. He's forced the issue a little bit, had a couple of turnovers there as well, but so far living up to the expectations.
And a lot of pressure. He's the first McDonald's recruit since 2013. That was Demetrius Jackson. And since ESPN has started ranking in 2007, he's actually the highest recruit at number 18 in the country on ESPN's ranking coming out of high school.
And he's trying to replace Blake Wesley, who came in not as much hype, but had a heck of a freshman year. And Mike Bray, he has a bunch of veteran guys with him that's going to ease him into things. So I expect a great year out of JJ. He'll settle down in this game as well.
So Cormac Ryan commits the foul. That's his first, the team's 5th. 10.3 on the clock for Radford.
Notre Dame's in their man-to-man defense now. They've gotten out of the zone.
Jeffers with 2 on the clock. Step back 3. And that's how the first half will end. Notre Dame with a 40-39 lead. Let's go to the studio with Kelsey Riggs and Luke Hancock, who have our halftime report.
Johnny Randolph, thanks. Welcome into this ACC Network halftime report.
Notre Dame doesn't turn the basketball over because they have so many handlers. But give Radford credit, and I think some of that is because they don't have their point guard. They don't have Marcus Hammond there, and we're seeing it. I think we've talked so much about J.J. Starling, you know, and comparing him to Blake Wesley, but they also had Prentice Hub a year ago, and that's who Marcus Hammond is replacing, and they don't have him right now.
Ezi Akuda with the penetration gets all the way to the rack, and Radford retakes the lead by 1.
Someone has to rotate over. I think right now, because of Radford's ability to make shots with all their guys on the court, no one is rotating to protect the rim.
And we have a steal. Ezi Akuda, one-on-one, will pick up his dribble. Good transition D by Notre Dame.
They need to do that because, again, that was a bad pass, but you can see he was looking for someone at the three-point line. They're trying to get in the paint, kick it out to threes. Notre Dame has to stop turning the basketball over.
And there's Marcus Hammond. He is the grad transfer from Niagara. He is out with an injured knee. No word on when he will come back, but missing him, especially as a ball handler, is a big loss for Notre Dame.
And they haven't had time to practice without him. This young man played in their exhibition game. And he just got injured right before this first game. So they hadn't got a chance to, you know, to practice without him there, to know what they're capable of doing. He's been in the lineup leading up until this game, so they'll figure it out in due time. We don't know how long he'll be out.
Were they throwing that at you?
I don't know. If they were giving it to me, I was going to shoot it. Hey, I like this kind of game. It's not much defense. Guys are just jacking it up. That's right in my alley.
That thing knocked down the monitor, everything at the scorer's table here. A little too close. Ezi Akuda called for the reach-in. That'll be his 3rd personal foul.
But that's what happens when you guard a guy like Cormac Ryan. He has a quick release, as we talked about. You got to get up on him, and unfortunately, he can put it down on the floor also. Got Ezi Akuda with his 3rd foul.
So he goes to the bench and gets a breather, but that brings in the freshman Kenyon Giles.
That brings in the guy you don't want. You almost want to say, no, don't foul, leave him out. Now, when they need a basket in the post, Dane Goodwin is really good at this, going in the post.
Goodwin working up against Antoine. Antoine winning that battle. Shot clock's at 5. But Antoine bumped him on the way by and will be called for the personal foul.
Yeah, don't be surprised when they want to go to the post up. They don't, you know, they don't have anywhere else on the lineup right now. They got 4 perimeter guys. But Dane Goodman, part of that 50, 40, 90 package we talked about. He's really good at this.
Curling off the inbound, shot too strong.
And posting up. He's a really good player. They're getting back in transition now. They got to match up.
Kick ball. If you're just joining us, this thing has been close the entire way. Ton of lead changes in the first half. Radford with a 1-point lead over Notre Dame. Radford lost their first game of the season on Monday at Marquette because that's what they didn't really shoot well. No. They have shot it well tonight. This is the Radford team we expected. Antoine, no good on the tape.
Good defense there by Notre Dame. They've been able to secure the rebound and actually push tempo themselves. This is what they need to do. Put Nate Laszewski in ball screens. You'll get a good shot. Just
Extra
like that.
pass. Ryan in the corner. 0 for 4 from downtown tonight. He'll find Starling. And uncharacteristically, Notre Dame is the team cold from beyond 3 tonight.
Well, they're going to live by the 3 and die by the 3. They're good looks. They're getting them right now. They're just not knocking them down. They'll knock down shots. They have to come back and fix what's going on the defensive end right now.
Notre Dame shooting 35% from deep. That personal was on Laszewski. That is his second.
And this is a team that held people to 65 points or below. That was their mark. And right now, Radford's on pace to shoot, to surpass that number.
Giles forced into a tough shot. Radford up by 1. Notre Dame trying to push things. Notre Dame to start this second half 0 for 4 from the floor.
They're going to need to help him down there.
0 for 5 as Goodwin takes a shot. Radford, they've got 5 on 4 if they want it. Goodwin trailing behind the play.
Find the 3-point shooters.
This is Smith. Gets his own rebound. And Radford will reset the offense.
They're spreading Notre Dame out, and they're hugged up to their guys. They have to get in help. They have to trust their teammates and trust their help.
Off the dribble handoff. Here's Smith on the window. Gets it to go. Radford, a 3-point lead. Notre Dame still looking for their first points here in the second half.
Part of what their defensive breakdown is, their defensive philosophy is pinning you on the side. Right now, the guards aren't fighting through the screens and allowing the guards to turn the corner. And they're just getting whatever shot they want. Just run a ball screen with Nate Laszewski. You're going to get a good look.
Inside shot goes. Cormac Ryan. His 3rd bucket of the game. He's got 6.
Radford has no answer for that right now, and I think they're going to see them go to that. They're trying to sprinkle in Goodman on the post, but they really want to get the ball now, putting Nate Laszewski in ball screens and catching guys rotating at him and him one more and making an extra pass, and they're getting open looks. Great job by Trey Wertz getting through the screen. These guards got to get through these screens and stay in front of the basketball.
Going to the hoop, Jeffers will be bumped by Wertz. So for Wertz, that is his first personal foul. Radford with a 1-point lead here in the second half. We'll be back to South Bend after this. Coach Darius Nichols, he told us probably the most interesting part. This is Allison McCoy. She's the Associate Athletic Director for Student Athlete Support Services. She makes sure all the guys are on top of their studies for an hour every single day. And Coach Nichols, he said, in order for the guys to meet each other and gel as a team, every single city they go to, they actually change room assignments. They have a different roommate for every trip. Niang with the left and 1.
It's a great pass. I don't know if I would like that, though. You seem like a guy that'd be playing PlayStation 5 all night, keeping me up. This is a great curl. Again, they're not keeping the ball out of the paint, coming down the lane, laying it off, and then and 1. They're being punished because they're allowing the ball to get in the middle of the floor, be it man or zone. And right now, until they fix that, they're going to have a tough time stopping Radford.
You're telling me you wouldn't want to get to know your teammates? You want to just stay with one guy for the whole season?
I think I would. I think we get along. We know what we like. You might snore or something. Who knows?
Now, right? I don't snore. Come on, don't put that out there.
You could be playing PS5 all night. I'm trying to, texting on the phone.
I probably would not be going to sleep
I was
early,
a serious guy. I went to bed early. I was ready to go. So that's all I mean.
Sometimes you got to get out of your comfort zone, right?
True.
That's how you grow.
True.
That's what college is about.
But my pregame prep was pretty simple.
So far, it's been working for Radford. This is Wertz from deep, short on the rebound. And the rebound is Shaquan Jules.
Somewhere Tony Rutten is listening to this, and he's going to talk trash to me about it because I gave him the blues as a freshman on the road. Shut up, turn the TV off. Again, now Notre Dame has a bigger lineup on the floor. They're either going to throw it inside or give it to that guy. It's always a good idea.
Laszewski reloads. He's short on the three. Jeffers gets the rebound. He says, calm things down. Let's run this at our pace. We played 5 minutes in the second half. We're up by 4.
Now, both teams are playing with their bigger lineups. You know, Radford's doing the same. Both teams runs this ball screen motion.
Penetration tipped at the rim, no good. Radford, they are the aggressors on the offensive glass.
Just getting to all the loose balls. Another offensive rebound. When they're not securing it, they're getting their hands on it. They're just playing a little harder than.
Giles takes the bump. Get big. And one.
Young fella's flexing. He's a handful. He can flat out score. They're having a hard time containing dribble penetration. Freshman on freshman there.
We will step aside. Radford with a 6-point lead. They will go to the line for a 3-point play when we come back. Before we went to break, Kenyon Giles going to work.
He's just showing you he's much more than a 3-point shooter there. He had the big on a closeout switch 5. Just pulled it out and ISO'd him. And Radford's just giving him space right now. They're getting in the paint whenever they want. Notre Dame's defense is suffering for it. So they have to keep control of the basketball. They're having trouble guarding the basketball. And again, it goes back to what we talked about. I think it's not having Marcus Hammond in the lineup tonight is another potential guard defender that you're missing out on.
So Giles, he has 15 points tonight. Radford, a 7-point lead. This is their largest lead of the ball game as Notre Dame started the second half just 1 of 8 from the floor.
Started the half, like 10-2 run. Right now, again, anything with Laszewski in the ball screen is a good idea. Now they made the adjustment and they're switching it.
Lubin will step out. He's off the mark.
You can tell by the Notre Dame bench that's not the shot they wanted from the freshman. No need to force anything if you're Notre Dame. Just settle down. And now what has happened is both teams now are switching all 5. They're so afraid of everybody shooting the ball. They're switching with all 5 guys.
Giles, look at him dribble with his head up, trying to find somebody. He's got his man Jules inside.
He's going to want to get
hard dribble. Comes back to the left. Rolling off the rim. 2 red jerseys are on the ball. Antoine, extra pass. This is Giles. Misses everything.
Heat check shot. It's a good look. Another turnover.
Radford coming back, running the floor. Giles pull up at the elbow. Count it. Radford extends their largest lead of the game. They're up by 9.
He is fearless. He is unafraid of the moment. And again, he's leading the team in scoring again with 17. Great pass.
Lubin.
Trey Wertz with great pass. Lubin, that's how you want the offense to come if you're Notre Dame. Let it come naturally. No need to force anything. No need to take quick shots. Plenty of time to get yourselves back in the game. But they have to improve on this end of the floor. Now they're falling back to their defense, to their zone defense.
We played 3 minutes here in this second half. Radford, the Highlanders, they've been the aggressor. Giles, what a dish off. Rocking the rim is Jules. And Radford doing anything they want offensively.
Again, against the zone, they're getting the ball in the paint off the dribble, forcing rotations and getting any shot they want.
Wertz trying to penetrate. Laszewski, he'll be bumped on the drive, fouled by Jules. All right, here's Saturday's Week 11 ACC Network College Football lineup. Fresh off their upset of Syracuse, Pittsburgh. They square off against quarterback Brennan Armstrong in Virginia, who they need to win out to become bowl eligible. That game's at noon Eastern. Then got true freshman quarterback MJ Morris leading 16 NC State against Boston College, and the day is capped off our ACC Network primetime match in Syracuse to trying to turn things around. They take on number 23 Florida State. The Seminoles have won 2 straight.
Seminoles starting to play good football. Great look to Laszewski there. Trey Wertz using his size, 6'6" guard, lead guard, elevating over the smaller defenders of Radford.
Laszewski, he's got 16 to lead the way for Notre Dame. Quick spin move. Caresi on the floor. And a jump ball as he's tied up by Ryan. Possession hour goes to Notre Dame. Don't be surprised. The Highlander. Shaq Jules, who just threw down that last bucket for Radford, he had a big summer. He played in the FIBA games that were going down in Brazil with the national team for the Virgin Islands. And we asked his coach, Darius Nichols, what did that do for Jules? He said, playing with pros in the FIBA games, seeing how those guys operate, seeing how they play and prepare for a game and what they do in their off time, he is now buying into the system here at Radford. He understands what it takes to be successful night in and night out.
Because when you go to those games, you're operating, you're playing with pros, and their preparation and everything is something you can learn from. Every coach that I've talked to that had players that played for their national team came back really impressed with the next step that their players take.
J.J. Starling back in the game for Notre Dame, trying to go off the bounce with the left. You see the quickness. Starling had 2 threes in the first half. That's his first bucket in the second. He's got 8.
You can see again, it was another screen by Laszewski. They didn't want to switch at that time, and a great job by the freshman identifying that, getting aggressive and turning the corner. Now you see they're picking up their defense. They're fighting through that screen.
Good defense by Ryan. Shot clock under 10 for Giles. Radford spreading the floor. Giles for 3. Tough shot at the rim, tipping it in. That's Justin Archer.
That's the difficult part about when you switch. You had a guard on him, the freshman didn't box him out. They had Laszewski outside. They wanted to ice on him, and they had a guard on the big, and the big won the battle there.
Giles a little too aggressive. We called for the reach in.
This is what you want to do when they switch. They ISO your guard and talk as a big. You want to take advantage and get the rebound. He outmuscled the freshman there on the glass. Just turning the corner. Nice finish with the right hand.
How does Notre Dame get more of that from J.J. Starling?
Just let it come organically. You can't force it. That time he just came off. You want to play in a controlled aggression. Right now, Notre Dame is in a half-court set in the post. They're going to go to Dane Goodman. He's their best low-post guy. He didn't finish there.
And then he commits the foul off the miss and will foul Jules on the rebound.
I think he was trying to get the ref to call a foul. I think they kind of saw him grab his arm, and he's a little frustrated because he's missed 2 layups. And he's struggling from the field tonight, and I think he's just seeing some of that frustration after he missed. Got a point-blank layup there.
Goodwin's got 2 points, 1 for 7 from the floor. That was his second personal foul.
They're going to get enough offense. They just got to sit down and guard here. Keep the ball out in the middle of the paint.
They force a tough 3, but Laszewski will foul Smith. And Daquan Smith will go to the free throw line to shoot 3.
You can see that happens a lot. You know, he's accustomed to playing in drops. They were a little bit unsure of what defense they were doing. They switched at the last minute. He was late. And unfortunately, a veteran guy jumping out, fouling a 3-point shooter. He knows better than that.
Saturday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern, the ACC Huddle Crew will be in Syracuse, New York to get you set for another full day of football. They'll also have the halftime shows and they have the pre- and post-game shows throughout the day. 6:30, get a complete wrap-up of the afternoon's games, and they'll get you set for the primetime matchup between Florida State and Syracuse going down on the ACC Network at 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. So I talked to Daquan Smith at the free throw line before the game. He transferred from Murray State. He said one of the biggest reasons why he came here is because at Murray State, he was kind of a role player, right? He only played about 10 to 15 minutes per game. Here, he's going to get a ton of playing time. But you know who he played with at Murray State? A certain Ja Morant, who is terrorizing the NBA right now. He said, Ja Morant's like my brother. I text him before his games. He texts me before my games. And he said Ja actually texted him after the loss against Marquette and said, just keep shooting. You're going to do your thing. It'll come. You're in foul. Now, the call was made on the floor. Now, the result could be a 1 or a 2, or it could downgrade it to a common foul or no foul after they go to the monitor. So you see the referees, Bert Smith, Terry Oglesby, J.P. Prim, taking a look at things at the monitor to see if this is in fact a flagrant foul on Shaq Jules.
Nate Laszewski is allowed to stand there and hold his ground. So I don't think he was leaning over in his space or anything at all. Played good defense, stopped the ball, and
Here's another look, and let's not forget, Laszewski is 6'10", so to catch him in the face, that's a high elbow.
I think it's a flagrant one.
Okay.
Free throw in the ball. I'd be shocked if there's anything more or anything less for that matter. But maybe this gets Notre Dame defense going. I mean, you saw a little bit of, anxiety last possession with Dane Goodman. He's upset, fired up about it, and sometimes you need some external help to get going. And Notre Dame is starting to get their defense going. They're getting through screens. They've got to keep the ball out of the middle of the paint. Right now, when Radford has done well, they've turned them over, or they've gotten the ball in the paint in their half-court offense. So,
something we also can't forget. This is just the first game of the season for Notre Dame, right? This is opening week across college basketball. Radford played their first game on Monday, losing to Marquette. So this is their second game. Even though Notre Dame has a ton of veterans coming back, still game one.
Still game one, and again, we talked about Marcus Hammond being out. He was injured very early before the first game. Coming over to let us know what happened. Thank you.
So we have the decision on the call. The referees have decided that will be upgraded to a flagrant one. Notre Dame will shoot 2 free throws and they'll have the ball.
1 for 1 so far this year. I got that one right.
Okay, partner.
There you go.
Get it.
I'm sure it'll balance out, but yeah, I thought they had to call that. I mean, it wasn't intentional, but it happened. Anytime the elbows get near the face, it's one of those things. Most times you really want to teach kids to rip lower than high for that very reason. Let's see if this gets Notre Dame defense going.
So Laszewski will go to the line to shoot 2 free throws. Notre Dame will have the ball.
He's been shooting the ball so well. You want him shooting these free throws right now. He's 6 of 8 so far tonight, and he got to the line about 9 times in the exhibition game, and he's on pace to do that tonight. And that's just a great sign that he's indicative of having a great year. That he's attacking the paint, driving the basketball, and it's just showing his senior leadership right now. Let's see if he can put this group on his back. He started carrying them early. Let's see if he can continue to carry them late.
Now, Laszewski was one of 3 players on this Notre Dame team who was on that team in 2008 when they lost to Radford. So he is trying to carry his guys up. He has 18 points to lead the way for the Fighting Irish tonight.
He's definitely done his part to carry the upside load, the offensive load for this group.
3 off the mark. Ryan on the offensive glass will get the board, and he's fouled by Ezia Kuda. And that'll be his 4th personal foul.
Notre Dame guards are so big, and that's one advantage that they do have, that these guys will sneak in on the offensive glass. And they have a distinctive height advantage of about 2 or 3 inches, and even more with Giles coming in on the floor now.
Doesn't it feel like Notre Dame is trying to get back the momentum in this game? And it seemed like the big play in this game was Dane Goodwin going hard, getting fouled hard, and it kind of woke everybody up.
Well, he's trying. I mean, he's trying to get his guys going. And when he saw those antics, he's just trying to pump his guys up. He's frustrated that he's not scoring, but he knows that he's a veteran guy. There's enough offense here. He's trying to get his guys keep playing. So they just got to get it going on the defensive end right now. That technical foul could be the thing of the night to me 12. Time to play. There's a 3-point game now.
Ryan trying to pump up this crowd. It is a 3-point lead for Radford as we approach 9 minutes to play in the second half.
They're getting through ball screens right now. That's what you want to see if you're Notre Dame. Get through the screen, get back in front of the ball.
Slipping free. Antoine. Extra pass in the corner.
There you go. Good defense there.
Feels like this game has switched.
It has. There's been a couple of things that have gone against Radford. The hard foul, the technical foul, 2 free throws on the ball. Stepped out of bounds.
So a turnover for Notre Dame as Goodwin out of bounds. And Notre Dame will have to reset on defense.
Just, you want them to settle down now. This is where, again, as this team, even though it has experience, there's still some anxiety because as a veteran group, this is also their first game. So you can never overestimate that.
Smith inside to Niang, slipping free, and the foul. That pick and roll has been working all night for Radford.
Just bad communication. You know, they were in drop coverage initially, and then they switched. And you see here, Laszewski so far back of the ball screen. You know, when they run it, he's so far back, but then it's a switch. The guard can't get back in front of a big if you're going to switch that late. So if it's dropped, he has to be up, call it out, so the guard can get under. I can tell you as a guard, if you call a switch that late, he can't get in front of the big.
Zhao Niang, the grad transfer from Florida Atlantic, converts the three-point play, pushes the lead back to 6.
This team isn't going anywhere. We talked about it. They've built this roster off of a lot of transfers, but they've come from winning programs. So these guys know how to win.
Wertz with the scoop shot at the rim.
He's been equally as impressive tonight as well. He's created shots for guys. And he's a veteran guy. He's been around the block and has all the tools to help this team.
Trey Wertz has 12 for Notre Dame. Trailing by 4. Pick and roll back to Niang, and he'll be fouled. This time by J.J. Starling. That's his second personal.
It doesn't matter who's in the screen. There has to be better communication. Again, there's a late switch, and if it's going to be that late, again, the guard can't get back under, and they're going to be late and score every time.
We'll have a special ACC PM tomorrow with the crew. They'll be in Syracuse, New York to get you set for a big weekend of college football. They'll also have the latest from around the conference. 4 p.m. Eastern right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app.
It's a big one in Winston-Salem tomorrow. Tar Heels coming in town.
Hey now.
Hey. Notre Dame's going to have to shore up that ball screen defense again. I mean, the last 2 times they ran the same play, switch has been late, and they've given up baskets.
So Niang goes 1 of 2 from the line. Lead is 5, under 8 minutes to play here in South Bend. Wertz picking up his dribble, cross court, finds Ryan. Quick move baseline, he's double teamed.
Notre Dame just needs to move the basketball and put Nate Laszewski in ball screen like this. Put him in ball screen.
Giles, dig it in. Wertz, that's a deep 3. Okay.
Wertz.
Trey Wertz brings Notre Dame back within 2.
So great to see this young man get going offensively. Better job now. Switch the ball screen.
Smith has a mismatch. Step back 3.
Daquan Smith doesn't care who's guarding him right now. It's a great step back 3.
That was filthy. Daquan Smith, he's got 16. Wertz in and out dribble.
Just move the basketball. Let the open man take the shot. Notre Dame's at its best when that happens. Great job by Nate Laszewski not setting the ball screen because they're going to switch.
Wertz, can he get another one? That is 2 deep threes in a row for Trey Wertz. He checked and a timeout on the floor. Wertz is heating up. He's got 18.
Smith hits a step back 3, telling Trey Wertz, anything you can do, I can do. Wertz says, not so fast, my guy. I'm coming right back at you. What a game we have in South Bend, Indiana tonight.
All right. Trey Wertz has hit back-to-back threes, and I don't think either of them have hit the rim.
He was dancing on that one, and the next play, he comes down. He catches the big on a switch, nothing but net on that. Listen, Mike Bray told him when he put him in the starting lineup, he usually comes off the bench. Mike Bray said, keep the job. Make me have to bring Marcus Hammond off the bench, and he's doing that tonight. He's going to make it hard for Coach Bray to take him out of the lineup if he can keep playing like this.
Mike Bray is 22-0 in home openers here in his 23rd season at Notre Dame.
Better job stepping up on the switch with the freshmen. They're switching again now. They're stepping up now. They're not switching, so they're...
Smith, step back. Another tough dagger. Says he's too little. Daquan Smith, the Murray State transfer, bringing it tonight. He's got 18.
That's a difficult shot there. He's finding a rhythm. He's really aggressive.
Ryan picks up his dribble, looking for some help.
Someone's got to cut to the basket.
And an offensive foul. Jeffers goes down to the floor. Offensive foul on Ryan. That's his third personal.
I want to see it. He just does a great job. He kills his dribble, walls up the way he coaches. It's a great job. Stuck his shoulder in. It's lucky they don't take a look at it.
I was wondering that.
Yeah.
That's above the shoulder area, so that could have been a reviewable play right there.
And he probably could have asked, but you know, now if you do that, you got to be willing to risk a timeout. And I don't think Coach Nichols wants to do that.
Notre Dame, good defense on the pick and roll. Goodwin on the breakout for the Fighting Irish. And he'll be fouled by Antoine to go to the line for 2.
Goodwin just got the ball that time, put his head down, drew contact, got to the line. He needs to get himself going. So nothing like free throws again. When you're a scorer and you have a slow start, want to get your free throw line to get yourself going. They're going to need him in his last 6 minutes.
Goodwin nails the first free throw, where he is a perfect 3 of 3 tonight.
He's automatic. Put this in the book.
Clearly you don't believe in the announcer jinx.
Nah, put it in the book. Put it in the book. I'll take him shooting free throws any day of the week.
Radford's lead is cut to 2, under 6 minutes to play.
Now they're switching again.
Smith once again gets to his spot off the mark. Starling rips down the board.
Good idea that time. Nate Laszewski's size bothered him. 6'10" guy with reach. Now they're switching everything with Laszewski. Now he's going to go in the post. Great cut.
Laszewski misses.
Just didn't
And
finish.
Radford, they've got numbers if they want it. In the corner, Giles thought about it, pulls it, hits it. A 3-ball for Kenyon Giles, and Radford extends the lead back to 5.
That doesn't count as a turnover, but Nate Laszewski fell, and they got numbers again. And who did they find? They're looking for Giles in transition. That's his 4th 3 tonight. Getting an open look in transition.
How about Giles, the freshman from Chesapeake, Virginia? He's got 20 points in his second college game. Off the poke away, they get Giles with the reach, and no. Who do they? Is it Giles? Yes. So they called it on Giles.
Called it on Giles.
Stays here with Notre Dame.
I thought it was a good defensive play. Giles with 20 tonight. It's 4th 3 in transition. Jab steps off. You're a little late. You got to close out to him. He's hit you up for 17 already. Run him off the line. What a start to this young man's career.
I think we're going to have to figure out who that starting point guard was on that AAU team.
We need
For Giles to be a backup.
We need to also ask why he's claiming a starting spot on his college team. Why is he not starting in the lineup right now? But he's instant offense off the bench. I mean, he has an early lead on the Big South freshman of the year right now. I can't imagine any freshman in that conference playing any better than he is.
Laszewski perfect at the line. Notre Dame needs to come up with a defensive stop under 5 minutes to play, down by 3.
Still a 1-possession game, but their defense has been solid. They've been getting better. They just got to clear up this middle ball screen up.
Oh, pick and roll again. Archer rocking the rim.
I know Coach Bray has to be frustrated. The middle ball screens, they're just not communicating on it.
Laszewski and Archer, they're fighting. Laszewski, he sold that one. It wasn't that dramatic. Give him an acting job, but he did get fouled.
Some of these guys, Radford has a really physical team. So some of these guys, Archer's a big, strong guy, so they're a little frustrated with the missed layup again. You know, those things, you get mad at yourself and get tied up a little bit and sold the foul. That's what experience. That's what you want from your experience. Get to the line. And
I mean, Archer's shaking his head, but that was 100% a foul.
It was a foul. You know? I don't think anybody's ever really fouled and threw their hand up. I mean, that happens like 1 out of every 10 fouls.
How about Laszewski? 9 of 11 at the free throw line tonight. You can see the improvement here in his graduate year at Notre Dame.
He's got to get more comfortable finishing in the paint like that last time. He's not as comfortable, but he is willing to go in there. Just like the possession before, he was trying to punish Giles inside on a switch. And I don't think there's anybody out there. He presents that kind of problem because he shoots it so well. You're talking about a 46% shooter from 3. So he shot fakes you. You got to go for it. He drives you. But when he can switch on smaller guards and take them inside, They're going to need him to do that to make up for some of what they lost with Atkinson last year.
He goes 1 of 2 from the line, but he has made a career high 10 free throws tonight, 10 of 13 on the line for Laszewski.
Got to fight over this. Got to fight over it. Got to get over it.
Giles, elbow jumper falling away. Laszewski with the rebound. And he now has a double-double, 21 points, 10 rebounds for the Notre Dame big man.
He's been difficult to stop. Got to get to him.
For 3, wide open, knocked down.
Automatic read there with him and Dane Goodwin. Goodwin curls off, puts so much pressure on the big to help. He stops back, knocks down the 3. I expect him to come back to that look.
What a ball game we've got tonight. Radford with a 1-point lead.
That's how you want it to switch if you're Notre Dame. Now you just got to stay in front of the ball, use your length. Great job.
Laszewski doesn't foul, walls up on D, and Ryan pulls down the rebound for Notre Dame.
Communication on the switch, guards able to get under. That's the way Notre Dame needs to defend that action. They've struggled with it all night. There again, running back to the same thing.
Giles called for the hold away from the ball. Nate Laszewski, the graduate 6'10" big man, stepping up. From the outside, and Notre Dame down by 1. Radford with a 71-70 lead over Notre Dame. Let's take a look at your summary if you are just joining us. Kenyon Giles, the freshman from Chesapeake, Virginia, leads the way for Radford. He's got 20 points, 4 of 7 from downtown. Nate Laszewski, he has stepped up big. He is approaching a career high. He's got 24 points, 10 rebounds, a double-double. That's his 10th career double-double. But Notre Dame does not have a bench. They just go 6 deep. Radford leads the bench scoring as Goodwin goes to the line.
Yeah, they'll lose the bench scoring deal most of the year. And not so much. I mean, when Marcus Hammond comes back, then we'll decide. You know, Trey Wertz looks like he doesn't want to give that position up, but either way, they're going to have some offensive foul power coming from the guard spot.
Notre Dame comes all the way back, trailing the largest lead by 9. And this is their first lead of the second half.
They're going to that middle ball screen again. They're doing a great job now of going under it, communicating the switches. Now someone that guards got to make a play. Nate Laszewski's using his length.
Jeffers off the bounce. Oh, with the kiss off the glass. Radford retakes the lead by 1.
That's just a great play.
Under 3 minutes to play here in South Bend. Laszewski on the block. Starling will reset the offense for Notre Dame. Shot clock's at 13.
Go make a play at this point. Got the switch.
Wertz at Ryan. Lets it go. Stark on the rebound, and he misses everything.
Yeah, didn't balance himself. Caught it. Was off balance and then laid it up. Great offensive rebound, though, but you want to finish it. But, hey, you need to stop. I think Nate Laszewski needs to keep this ball out of the middle, putting a lot of pressure on his guards in the middle, getting over that screen.
Jeffers, he's trying to take control of things. With the crossover, gets to his right. Oh, another tough bucket over Laszewski, and he increases the lead to 3.
They're attacking him on that switch, and he has to get someone to help him. I thought he did a great job before. That time he gave up the angle, and
it is crunch time in South Bend, under 2 minutes to play. Notre Dame down by 3. Radford has led for most of this game.
Don't settle. Just take him in. He can't foul.
Laszewski with the mismatch. He knows
foul.
Giles has 4 fouls. That's the leadership by Laszewski. He now has 26.
Coach Nichols called a timeout here. Draw up a play.
Timeout Radford. A 1-point game. Notre Dame first game of the season trying to get the dub. Coming out of that Radford timeout, up by 1 with 1:18 to play here in the second half. The Highlanders, they do have some foul trouble on the floor. They've got 3 guys with 4 personal fouls. Giles, Aziakuta, and Jules both have 4. And you can see on that last play, Giles, he couldn't defend with 4 fouls.
No, and you need him on the floor. He's the one guy of those 4 that they need out there. They don't have depth.
Goodwin with the clear out. He'll be called for the personal foul.
And that's the other thing. When you switch, one of your guards has to box out the big. And Jules is just a grown man out there. He's just so physically strong. It's difficult for anybody to box him out, let alone a guard, even someone the size of Goodwin. They got a team rebound. I mean, other guys got to come in there. It can't just be the guard that switched on to him.
Jules goes to the line, ready to shoot his first free throw of the night. And he makes it.
These are big free throws for a guy that hadn't shot free throws all game long. When you go to the line, first game of the season, with a chance to upset Notre Dame on their home court.
He goes 1 of 2. A 2-point lead for Radford as we approach a minute to play here in South Bend. Wertz picks up his dribble, misses Laszewski on the curl.
Yeah, great job getting the deflection on it. Just put Laszewski in the ball screen.
The freshman trying to run the show. Starling up at the rim. And a block is called. If that's on Ezi Okuda, that's his 5th.
It is. He tried to slide over and step up and take a charge. Thought he might have gotten there. Bert Smith didn't think so. I don't know.
I don't know. Was he there?
Yeah, I mean, it's. Bert called it a block. It's a block. 2 shots. They're not going to change it now.
That's right. That's right.
But no, you hate to see that for a senior and for any guy. You know, you don't want to foul out a game in this kind of moment when you're on the verge of an upset.
But give credit to J.J. Starling, the freshman with the shot clock winding down. He's the aggressor taking it to the bucket. Now goes to the line for 2, and he misses the first.
These are defining moments. It's early on. It's nerves. Again, he'll be fine. I think he'll make the next one and on to the next play. I'm going to call this. Here he is. Automatic. There you go, young fella.
You're also a perfect 2 for 2 on your automatics calls so far this year.
He's a burger guy for a reason. He's a McDonald's All-American for a reason. He's been in these moments before, just not at this level yet. And they'll put the balls in his hands for many more.
Fighting Irish, they need a stop. Down by 1.
How are they going to guard this ball screen? Are they going to switch it?
Smith, great set to go with 5 on the shot clock, getting all the way to the rim, throws it off, no good.
You got numbers if he just
Smith is down behind the play. Notre Dame has 5 on 4 numbers if they want it. Ryan recognizes, and he gets the layup to go. Notre Dame takes the lead, and they stop the play because DeQuan Smith is still down after taking a hard fall going to the bucket.
Let's hope he's okay. I think DeQuan hit the bottom of the basket there. Just a great drive. He got to the rim. Just missed it. Cormac Ryan fell on top of him. Fell on top of him. Got up and just hustled down and made a play. You hate to see that happen at the expense of a player getting injured, but heads up play by Cormac Ryan. He didn't know he hurt him. He just fell on top of him, got up, made a play.
So Smith is still down.
Let's hope he's all right.
After taking that hard fall. DeQuan Smith, the Murray State transfer.
I don't know how we're going to continue. They got to call a foul. He's still underneath the basket. He's still underneath the basket. I don't know how they're going to play the game. Yeah, they're going to set. I think we got to have a full timeout here. Hope he's not injured bad. He still hadn't gotten out off the floor yet.
Well, we saw him go down hard, and then on top of going to the basket hard and taking that fall, it appeared like Ryan came down on top of him.
That's what it looked like. And
incidental.
Yeah, all that accident. He
100%.
tried to block the shot.
100%.
Fell on top of him. Let's just hope it's nothing serious and he's going to be okay. And he's getting up off the floor now. So I think.
So DeQuan Smith helped up off the floor as he gets a round of applause by this crowd here at Notre Dame.
Now, if you're Radford here, I mean, losing, this is where you miss DeQuan Smith. He's a playmaker. He's a veteran guy that you want to put the ball in his hands. But I think the other guy is Kenyon Giles. I think you got to find him right here. There's only 9 seconds left. You don't need to run time. You just need to get right into an action. And I think you're going to put a ball screen on, identify a person. Maybe it's Nate Laszewski. Get the ball screen early, and I'd go one-on-one. I put the ball in Kenyon Giles' hand and let him play. He's a freshman. Him or Jeffers, but I like the way Giles has been playing, and he's his coach said he's a player. He doesn't lack confidence. He talks to himself on the court, and he hadn't answered himself yet, so they don't worry about it. They think he's okay. Well, let's see what they do when they come out of this timeout.
Both teams are in the double bonus. So if Radford draws a foul, they will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. 9.5 on the clock here in the second half. If you're the Highlanders, you do have 2 timeouts remaining, so if something breaks down, you can still use one of those 2 timeouts.
Yeah, looking at where maybe they're going to run a dribble hand up. I can't imagine they're going to sit Giles over in the corner, but Josiah Jeffers is equally up to the task as well. He's a veteran guy and a 3-level scorer himself. Called another timeout here.
So Radford calls another timeout. Back-to-back timeouts. Yeah. What did they see? What caused them to cause the second timeout?
Again, I think you're just trying to identify what defense they're in. And you want to know whether they're going to go zone, are they going to go man, and he might change the play now and decide to add something just in case Notre Dame does that. And so there's a lot of gamesmanship going on right here. You know a team can do both, so you got to be prepared or have a play drawn up. Can't have a man-to-man play thinking it's going to be a ball screen and they run back and run a 1-3-1 zone. So I would imagine they're going to do something that has an option that they can run against man or zone because they got 9 seconds. They got plenty of time.
If you're Mike Brey in Notre Dame, now that second timeout has been called, do you counter the chess move and change your defense?
It's a gutsy call. I got a veteran group, right? So you got a veteran group of guys, but you do have a freshman out there. The question I'm wondering is, Coach Nichols, who is he going to attack? Is he going to attack the freshman or is he going to attack Nate Laszewski? I think he's going to put one of those guys in the action and then tell one of his dynamic guards to go make a play. You're right here. They've been loose all game. Go out and win it. Ton of confidence.
They're without Ezi Okuda. He has fouled out. They're without DeQuan Smith because he took that hard fall. They've got Jeffers, Giles, their go-to guards on the floor. They also have Brian Antoine. And their 2 bigs are Jules and Niang.
They've gone to a big lineup here, so I think you're going to see him run up instead of ball screen early. Yep.
All right.
To a ball screen.
Here we go. 6 seconds to play. Jeffers getting downhill, throws it up off the rim, tipped around. Laszewski comes down, and he is fouled. Look how pumped up Nate Laszewski is as he goes to the free throw line. 0.4 on the clock.
Hey, great drive by Jeffers. He got the shot up, got to the rim. They got another hand on the 50-50 ball again, but credit to Nate Laszewski. He's been the guy all night for Notre Dame. That's a big-time rebound right now to close this game out. That's the difference in winning and losing the game.
Now, should there be more time on the clock?
I'm sure Coach Nichols is going to ask about it. This is the option here is you want him to make the first one. But right now, I'd ask him to miss the second one.
Laszewski has 27 tonight. His career high is 28.
Yeah, this will be something that they're going to discuss in the timeout. Does he miss it? You only got 0.4 seconds. So we'll see if they add any time. But there's not a lot of time there. So I just, I tell him to miss the shot. But you go up 3, you give him a chance to get one off if they add any time.
Now 0.4, it's just enough,
to
catch and shoot.
It's enough to catch and shoot. That's
so
why
if they miss the free throw, you can't even set up a heave.
Yeah, you don't have time to heave it 90 feet. So I'm pretty sure that's what they'll tell them. I mean, if not, you give them a chance to execute a play, which is what they're setting up right now. I'd counter that by telling him to hit the square. And you got to practice these situations to be comfortable in it. But again, this is where the experience of Notre Dame comes into play. You got these guys, they've been in so many games like this. be interesting to see which option they decide here.
So you're calling Laszewski misses free throw?
I'm calling. I would suggest that he misses it. I'm not saying. I mean, it's easy to say. And he got enough points tonight. He's got 27, so he's played well enough. But again, he may make it, and they may trust their guys and say no foul. I mean, there's not a lot of time here. So, but again, you're going to give them a chance to execute a play if you make the shot.
What a ball game. We've seen 8 lead changes tonight.
Great game.
Notre Dame with a 2-point lead, 0.4 to play. Laszewski goes to the free throw line for one more. Game 1 of the season for Notre Dame. This has been a thriller.
Yeah, and they're 0.4 seconds away from just the first win of the year. That's all you can do. And this has been a team that notoriously had a slow start to the season. And again, they're missing their starting point guard. Let's see what they decide to do here. Look like Mike is coaching the guys up to be attentive. He's going to make it.
And he makes it.
He's going to press the ball.
A full court heave at the buzzer. Oh, off the rim. And Notre Dame comes all the way back, and they win it 79-76 over Radford. For head coach Mike Bray in his 23rd season, he stays perfect in home openers, 23-0 with the win tonight over Radford.
Great job. Radford came to play tonight. Got to be happy with the win. Mike Bray's team. They showed their veteran poise, their leadership. Came out on top. They battled back from 10. Again, they got to shore up some things, but I wouldn't overreact. It's just the first game, and they just lost their starting point guard.
Nate Laszewski ties his career high with 28 points tonight, going along with 12 rebounds and 3 assists. The big man stepped up big when Notre Dame needed him to squeeze out a 3-point win.
Dominant performance for him. Dominant performance.
Radford led by 9